Hey guys, it's Brian. Today I'm playing Arc Raiders through the server slam. This is like its open beta, I guess. Um, it looks cool. I really like how they did this tutorial section. I'm a huge fan of sliding, so running and sliding is a must-have. Also, I love the Honda CRX, so the fact that the game world is littered with the corpses of futuristic, legally accepted Honda CRXs, I'm down. I wanted a CRX when I was getting my first car in high school, but I couldn't find one, so I settled for a 91 Civic SI hatchback that was teal, called the Blue Ruckus, because it was when blue and green have a fight together. Yeah, dude, so this game is incredibly high quality. I didn't play the finals. I didn't get a chance to play Marathon. Honestly, I'm not a huge Battle Royale fan, so if you're looking for hardcore feedback and amazing Battle Royale-esque gameplay, you're in the wrong place. I'm just going to be giving my honest opinion of, my first 40 minutes with this game. And honestly, it was more positive than negative. It felt like I was playing The Last of Us, if that makes sense. You're kind of in a post-apocalyptic kind of world where people are living underground and going topside is a problem. And, I feel like for the past, let's say, ever since 2018, ever since 2017, 2018, where like PUBG and friggin' Fortnite were taking over, and everyone's like, oh my god, Battle Royale. I feel like everyone's been trying to make extraction shooters a friggin' thing, dude. And I didn't, look, I'm not hardcore enough that I went and played Escape from Tarkov or anything like that. But I feel like this feels like extraction shooter with AAA quality, which is funny because it's a $40 game. I admittedly jumped in knowing that this kind of game is not for me, but it kind of like scratched a bunch of different gamer itches. It has amazing atmosphere. I would say its style, it's like retro-future style, feels somewhere between post-apocalyptic The Last of Us and kind of Fallout-esque. Like, hear me out, like Fallout 3, I would say. It's more modern, it's not like futuristic, like what the 1950s would look like. This just looks like what would happen if we all died in like the next 20 years, 10 to 20 years maybe. I think it's supposed to be more like what happens if like, because there's a lot of older things like areas where you feel like, this is a world where you would expect to see like a punch card machine, I feel like. But it kind of gave me, like, this whole starting area gave me similar vibes to a very, like, positive situation I had, which made me fall in love with Fallout 3, which, going into that first supermarket and, like, scrounging around for stuff to, like, get out with my life in my hands, that's kind of what I got from this game. Granted, I only played 40 minutes, and a lot of that was tutorial, as you'll see, but it kind of hit those vibes. Like, this felt very Last of Us to me, where it's like, haha, you thought you were escaping, but now you're stuck in a cutscene. So it kind of scratches those itches. I definitely, it's funny, I was worried coming into this game, which I haven't pre-ordered it. I didn't really, I like fighting monsters, and especially sci-fi monsters, So I had a feeling from the initial trailer I was gonna like it, but I was kind of upset when it said it was going PvEVP, because PvP usually just frustrates me, unless it's like Call of Duty and I'm just straight up running and gunning. You know, this game does things really well, and like its UI is minimalistic, its search mechanics are good. It is funny that they added a delay to loading the items and picking them up, so you can't just like PUBG or Fortnite come in and just spam the button to get everything. There's no take all button either, so you kind of have to wait for things to load. You'll see it does transitions to black and then out of black a lot, which is cool. There's a huge, astronomical amount of focus on sound. Like, if there's one thing to take away from this game, it's like, oh my god, sound is a pillar. Like, and what I mean by that is that it is ingrained in everything. Like, the fact that part of the game, like, fades to black, and then before it loads the screen, it starts playing audio, just tells you, like, an audio designer had a seat at the table every single step of the way through this entire game. And I will say this, like, I was playing without a headset on, and oh my god, I love the arc enemies, by the way. Like, this just, like, you could just call this a drone in any other game, but it has so many behaviors, and, like, feels like there's an AI behind the control of the drone. It's not just like it has realistic-esque flying physics, which is just impressive as well. I would say the thing that, like, and this is going to be so me, for those of you that know me, like, I am definitely a solo player. I will co-op, but I want to, like, experience and immerse myself and get lost in the world, in the game. Like, I'm that person that played Borderlands first, ahead of my friends, and will go do story missions by myself, and I will go back and help them replay that content. But I don't want to, like, miss dialogue and miss these moments. And, like, I've had great boss fights with friends and stuff, but I feel like I need to pass judgment on a game. I need to, like, play it first myself. This is why, like, I insisted when I played a ton of FBC Firebreak earlier this year, I played it mostly solo before playing with my friends. Why? Because I am not that person that's just like, I'm gonna pick up, jump in and play, we're gonna bullshit around, I'm not gonna have any clue what's going on, like, sure, I'll make a bunch of funny content, like, I don't know, there's some kind of, like, game designer slash QA tester mentality just ingrained in me now from being in the video game industry for friggin' 18 years. You know, I went to college in 2004 for game design and moved out of state to do it. And I had to push myself to play other games. So, you know, on paper, do I want to spend time and get immersed in an extraction shooter? No, but, like, this one felt like something special. And you could tell, like, if all the interviews coming out right now with the devs wasn't any indication, like, they care a lot. They care a lot about this game. They rebooted this game, and, like, hear me out, a lot of games reboot. Like, it's very normal for games to reboot, like, 3 or 4 times. I've been on some games that rebooted 7 times before launch. So, there's always a bit of refactoring that's going on, right? This is why when people are like, how is this game still broken after 10 years? Like, dude, the game changed. They didn't know what they were making until the last 6 months. Like, you think what happened with Anthem is, like, surprising? Almost every game I've been on has been its own mini Anthem of, like, no one knows what they're making. And then it, like, either magically comes together, or they, like, completely, like, the team just commits and moves forward to something else. Um, it's interesting. The game itself, like I mentioned, does a lot of things right. I love how just like no nonsense the UI is. It has all the bells and whistles you'd expect. It has the features you want. But there's something just like it's the whole thing is dark mode except where your focus should be. And like, look, I can look on the screen and immediately tell you where you're looking. It's in the white box in the right hand corner. And then if you want to do something, you're looking in the bottom center to hit that ready button. Like, it's just smooth, it's simple, it gets out of your way, and it really does focus on, like, you'll see when we get to the main menu later that the game pushes you to just get back into the fight as fast as possible. This is one of the things I fucking detest about Battle Royale is that waiting period. And this is why I played Fortnite for a whole year and then finally stopped, dude, because one, I just couldn't get into Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. I tried. I gave my like usual 2 months or to season 2 essentially, and then drop off of Call of Duty. Fortnite, I played a whole year through 2018 because I was on that train, man, of just like doing the battle pass. And what I hate is sometimes it feels like you're spending more time loading in to stuff than playing the damn game. Like, there's a story here in Arc Raiders, and this cutscene is one of the big showcases of the story. But it's so interesting because everything in Arc Raiders is reused and remixed in such a way that it feels like it just makes sense. Like what you're seeing in these cutscenes, that shit's in the game. What you're seeing right now is the game. It might be the background of a menu, but this is the game. Those are characters you're gonna meet. Like, this is not some, like, flashy marketing push. Like, this shit is the game. You're going to walk this corridor with your own character. This isn't, like, some AAA Blizzard cinematic team awesome piece of WoW lore. Like, this is the game. And so as much as, like, I'm on the fence about Arc Raiders, and I'm not sure it's the game for me at this point, they have done an admirable job of making one of the easiest to get into extraction shooters on market today. Like, I know bits and pieces of where this is coming from. I know that they played a shit ton of what's out there, and I know they wanted to give their own twist on it. Like, you could argue that, like, this game was made on a spreadsheet, right? Of just, like, okay, we're gonna take this and this and this and pull it all together, and that's fine. To be honest with you, like, no bullshit, that's how every game is built. It's a very iterative approach. The game industry is incredibly cannibalistic and fad and hit-driven, just like the movie industry. And it's always been that way. They do a crazy good job. Like, you're just on a screen to talk to merchants, but they make the world feel alive. They make you immersed in this world through the menu. There's very few games where I feel like they put so much care into that. Like, that screen alone. And it's interesting because, you know, some of these things are like, okay, cool, the decks, like, this is clearly Fortnite or Call of Duty right here, right? They have taken a lot of inspiration from this and their other game, The Finals, which I still haven't played, FYI, and that's okay. But there's just... it all works. It feels intentional. Like, how laid out and detailed this map is, like, they didn't need to make it this detailed. Like, they clearly gave a shit about this game. They pivoted this game to PvP, which they know, and, you know, you can tell when you play it that PvP adds a little something to it. I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this more with people or solo. I enjoyed it solo, and I'm going to launch into my first solo mission here in a second. But I kind of came away feeling, I don't know, it's weird. It's one of those cases where I wasn't sure if I liked it. I came home from running an errand, and I was just told myself I have to play this game. I have to play this game because I can play it for free, and it's the weekend to do it. I'd even say hi to my girlfriend who was working. I just came home, dropped the dog off, sat down, immersed myself in this game, and I was actually playing with the sound coming through the TV until I got into this game after this, and I locked in. So here's the loadout screen. You can see it's very Tarkov with all your materials on the left and all your equipment on the right. What else? I'm trying to think. They have quests, so they have built-in quest system, which I didn't even do the first quest. I didn't realize you had to accept the quest before you started. I thought it was just like Fortnite, where it's passively you accept all quests. Not the case in this game, so make sure you accept your quest, people. But even that transition there, fade to black, immediately fade to a loading screen. They're masking loading. Clearly they have a loading icon, but the fact that they use a black screen to and oh my god, so much pop-in. I definitely did not get as much pop-in when I spawned at a different location, so I think that might just be that spawn spot. I kind of appreciate that you just drop somewhere. You don't have to float around, and there's not a mad rush to kill people. You're kind of just dropped in silently into the world, and then you kind of go. You can see I'm paranoid as fuck right now, running around. I'm ooh, circle, I need to collect something. I'm just gonna steal some agave real quick. But even that's making noise. And oh my god, I love how simple the inventory system is. You kind of just saw a little bit of it, which it just shows a square grid of what you have versus what you don't have. You can, if I remember correctly, there's I'm just at this point just sucked into the world and listening. Actually, I know what I was doing. I'm why did I pause? I paused so I could switch to my headset. Because I'm holy shit, I need audio. I need this shit right up on my ears so I know what the hell's going on. I was also worried I was going to have to do a Borderlands-esque, should I pick this up? Should I not pick this up? What I learned about this game, and, probably not the best advice, but this is me playing 40 minutes, so take everything I say with a grain of salt if you're still here. And if you're still here, you're a friggin' legend, because we're 19 minutes into this gameplay. So, I just learned pick up everything, because your extraction's actually closer than you think. This might just be this training map. I assume this is one of the real maps, but I know this is a training kind of, it's called Storm Aftermath, which is really cool that they kind of keep it within lore. It's supposed to be the next day after the storm we hit in the tutorial. So less people are spawned, and I think less arc enemies are spawned as well. You can see there's an overall timer. I don't actually know what happens if the timer runs out. I've never lived that long. But oh my god, listen how loud this shit is. Oh, that'll definitely get some attention. But yeah, picking things up feels good. Getting XP for scavenging things feels great. it made me want to pick up everything, even items I didn't need, because you get XP for scavenging. Like, my dream game is a game where you get XP for everything you do. Like, I want fucking XP for hitting that button, right? And taking that risk of opening this super loud fucking shit. Obviously, this game is not built to do that, but that's my personal style. Is I like, dude, if they could give me XP for breathing, I would take it. And then I would know all my breaths per minute. Oh my god. But yes, I did fall in love with their inventory system. You just spam square basically, but you're actually getting a rhythm as you wait those couple seconds. It also is an art, it's done for a design reason to keep you sitting there waiting for shit. But as you can see, I played this very much like a stealth game, walking around quietly. I do another match after this where I'm much more running gun style, and you can imagine how that one turns out, or you can watch it until later in the video. I loved the environmental storytelling. It made me like, I don't know, it was a fun world to be in, to traverse. I felt like there was potentially an unturned stone around every corner. So, you know, here I'm like freaking out because I heard something, obviously. But I'm also like surveying my surroundings to try to see if I can find items. And I think one thing I love about them taking the Last of Us approach of like, hey, let's just put a white dot on something you can interact with, is my focus is being on the game world itself. I'm not spamming a button to scan the environment for shiny objects to pop up. I'm not running and looking for a treasure chest. I'm like looking for little white specks to pop up into view. I'm like walking closer to objects than I should, like this radar dish splashing in the water, trying to fucking find out if I can breach something. I am also looking for like places to hide because I know I need to like have cover. Like the flying animation and like the way this arc thing fights back just feels good, man. Like searching this thing, taking this one little thing down, which is the most basic bitch enemy of the entire game, felt good. Like, that's so weird in a game. You know, like, I always think back to Gears of War, the first one, where everyone's freaking out. I'm like, why is everyone freaking out about this game? And they're like, it's got this stop and pop gameplay. And Cliff Bazinski goes out there, Cliffy B goes out there and is like, it's all about designing for the first 30 seconds of the game. Like, by the way, that piece of paper scared the shit out of me. That just flew over my friggin' right shoulder. But killing your first locust in that game feels great. You chainsaw an enemy in half. You remember that, just like when you punch grunts in you gun butt grunts in friggin' Halo. I don't know why I'm on such a friggin' Microsoft kick. Probably because of like all the bad Xbox news. Which, by the way, all this footage, if you couldn't tell from the first 5 seconds, it's more like 2 seconds, is I'm on PS5, basic PS5, no PS5 Pro here yet. I'm not even sure if it's worth it. 700 is a lot, man. I feel like by the time I buy the Pro, the 6 is going to come out and be cheaper. So, probably going to wait on that, even though I loved my PS4 Pro to death. Anyway, I really thought the fact that everything felt good. Like, in the moment, it just felt right. I was able to focus on finding things. I was able to focus on, like, the environment and being situationally aware of what was going on. More than, like, fumbling with the controls or trying to master some gimmick. It was weird. It's like they actually played their competition, and the most popular games on the market said, we're just gonna do that. Like, this is the first game in a long time I didn't have to change anything in the accessibility menu. Or, go look for all the things the game doesn't tell you videos. And the fact that I got, I love this. I didn't realize how much I love this, but getting asked surveys, like Call of Duty does this occasionally, where they'll ask you, did you enjoy that map and that mission? And usually the answer is yes. Sometimes it's hell no, what the hell were you doing? But in this game, they ask you all the time. And it's interesting. It makes me think, did I actually enjoy myself? And I would say, overall, good, not great. It does everything I want it to do. Maybe if I put more time in, it's funny. So I played the tutorial. You just saw my first mission. Felt like a tutorial again. I'm like, okay. Whatever. Not a big deal. We're gonna go in and do one more match. And I walked away, and I'll just tell you right now, I felt like my takeaway a couple hours ago when I played this is I felt like it's PUBG. It has the tension of PUBG, the world and controls of The Last of Us. But to be mean and just, this is the most concise way I guess I can say it. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not trying to hate on this game. This game does so much right. I might end up buying this game. If you want to support me, you want to see more gameplay and hear my stupid anecdotes and what I think about games, let me know in the comments. Like this video. I'll buy Arc Raiders. We'll play some more. Borderlands 4 has its hooks in me right now, so it's hard to say no. This is the first time I delayed buying a PlayStation Studios game. I didn't buy Ghost of Yota yet. And I was so locked in, dude. I was so locked in and ready for this game, for Ghost of Yota, but I've been distracted by Borderlands 4 in a big way. Okay, so this next mission, to oversimplify, what's Arc Raiders? It's an extraction shooter that feels like PUBG with bots. Literally, because you're killing bots. Not bots masquerading as people in the game. Bots as in Arc itself is fighting you. And they're NPC bots in the world. But also, there's people in the world as well. So, essentially, that's my thought. You can quote me on that. PUBG with bots. But hey, guess what? It feels fucking amazing. I don't know what it is. I never expected to like an extraction shooter. I think it's just a huge time sink. I love that I won't lose my character and all my shit, because I hate losing stuff in games. This is why I fell in love with JRPGs, because if you are bad at a boss fight, you can just go grind and come back. You can change your build and try again. That's kind of what this game feels like to me. It's a shooter, 100% a shooter. And as you can see, I'm being more running, gun, and aggressive, and I decided not to. So this is still the tutorial Storm Aftermath. I wanted to see what it was like if I was more aggressive. I'm sure if I just go into a regular match, which I'm gonna do next, after I'm done recording this video, I know for a fact I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. And I don't care. I did not play competitive games for so long. Like, I loved Resistance, Fall of Man. Totally got me into first-person shooters. I really wasn't into it until then, for whatever reason. PS3. My PS2 days, 3D platformers, JRPGs. That was my bread and butter. It wasn't until college that I started forcing myself out of my box. I played some God of War. I started pushing beyond the bounds of things, trying to figure out why everyone was freaking out about World of Warcraft and Half-Life 2 when I was going to college. Pushing myself, like even playing Fallout 3, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but totally in on it. Now, here I am, fucking, God, 20 years later, forcing myself to play an extraction shooter for ungodly known reasons. Which the real reason is I have two friends that love the finals and played FBC Firebreak with me, and were like, why aren't you playing this game? You should be playing this game. Also have a coworker, same thing, why aren't you playing this game? He actually thought mid-meeting on Friday I started playing the game without him while on the call with like a bunch of other coworkers. I wasn't. I can say that honestly, I was not. Although I was sitting in front of my TV with the TV turned off because I have a fucked up back. Yay, 2 surgeries. Here's a perfect moment for Arc Raiders. Here's an enemy. I'm gonna shoot the arc. This guy's shooting at me. I shoot the arc. He sees that I shoot the arc. So then he's like, oh, this guy isn't gonna try to kill me, he's trying to help me. Which, by the way, fuck the fact that I'm shooting this fucking fence that's aimed like perfect height to fuck my aim up. And here I've clearly lost my shield. I'm trying to learn how fucking bandages work, which is not what I expected. You kind of have to like wrap yourself, and then it'll pop, and then there's a cooldown. Recharging your shield, you kind of have to wait on it. Everything takes time. They've slowed down the gameplay loop to make it more intentional, to increase the stakes. Like, I came into this game worried it was gonna be Call of Duty Warzone in third person. And to a certain point it is, but it clearly isn't at the same time. Like, my experience so far in this game is, it really does remind me of when I would play Last of Us multiplayer. And I honestly feel like that's a good thing, where I'm going around, I'm collecting things, I'm building things on the fly, and then I'm like dashing to go grab shit or kill people when the time's right. Like, look, I've completely ditched this guy. I left him to deal with the Ark, and now here I am on the other side of the building. He's probably still out there. But I've, like, completely gone off and done my own thing. Because I showed I wasn't a threat, so he's not actively hunting me down. I found out that there's, like, security cameras that'll call out your position. And, like, this shit is just insane. Of course, I open these things to find out he's already looted them, so now there's no loot in them. Which is also a cool touch. Like, I didn't need a tutorial to tell me that. I, like, figured it out. Which I think this game really excels at. I'm admiring the lighting. Like, the fact that this game is dark and plays with light so well, I love. Because it's so bright and light outside, you really do feel like you're exposed. Whereas when you're inside in the dark, you feel safe. It's really cool how they play with light and sound to fuck you up. Like, the fact that my character makes sounds that I would expect them to make wearing this armor blew my mind. And, you know, at this point I'm trying to find this guy. I don't have my mic on at the moment when I'm playing this game, I know a lot of like streamers and videos I've seen are like, go and make some friends, random pickup groups of 3 people. Like, definitely not that. I came into this match knowing, okay, I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna run and gun, I'm gonna make noise, I'm gonna explore, and I'm probably gonna die. At this point, I am kind of hunting this guy a little bit, but I wanted to see what would happen. Boom, there he is. And then he doesn't waste any fucking time. He just goes at me. I'm trying to get cover. He's clearly playing on PC or something. He definitely knows what he's doing. Half of my shots are hitting the fucking wall, which just drives me apeshit. And then I knew I was gonna die, so I just climbed up here and wanted to see what death felt like. And so sure enough, here we go. I like the little underdog wins in the end comment. That reminds me of, like, I thought this was cool. It tells me how I died and who killed me. Not to the point of, like, I'm gonna message the guy and be like, bro, that fucking suck, you suck. But I think it's cool to see who killed me and how they killed me and what they had. Obviously, you don't get anything for dying, which, hold on, sucks fucking dick. But the fact you get XP, you get cred. Look, I still enjoyed myself even though I died, which just, that's a sign of a good game. If it, like, and here, this is what really throws me through a loop, and I kind of saw this, is they have a lost loot chicken. So you go to this chicken, and it brings you lost materials that you lost because you died. It's like lost loot in Borderlands, where it's like shit you didn't pick up. But in this case, it's like the chicken went and found your corpse and brought back a segment of things you lost. Dude, there's augments, there's all sorts of things you can build. Like, I'm just, like, at this point crafting what I can craft. There's, like, a stealth pistol called a hairpin. I want to try that out. Like, I walked away from this game, like, let me see the menus. Okay, I love how, even though all of these things are basically for conditioning, mobility, survival, all of it is like, get better at the game. Move faster. Be quieter. It's like all the things you'd expect for the game. And like, yeah, this tech tree doesn't look huge, but it's a good start. I really love how they handled this screen. The fact that these people are straight up the people that were in the cutscene, it makes me question if it was a cutscene at all.
I'm kind of in a hurry,
and if these are pre-rendered, it feels like these are in-engine, but they just look so good that they could be pre-rendered. Okay? Definitely in-game. I can definitely see why they said they're not doing last gen, and this is a PS5, Xbox Series X, like, PC game. Because the production values are that high. It is so smooth. Like, there's something here, and I walked away feeling like the game was PUBG with bots, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't for me. But here I am hours later, and I was like, let me review it. And now, I can't stop thinking about the game. I want to get in and see if I can get just a little more loot. If I can get out with some cool stuff. I want to see where this quest goes. And I guess they got their hooks in me. And it's only $40. This isn't some $70, $80 game. And I can kind of play it whenever I want. Because they've taken a Helldivers approach. I'm down, man. So, I guess I'll be buying Arc Raiders. Thanks.